Hi everybody, I'm Jack Jinseki, and joining me today is Pear.
Hello, everyone.
So, Pear, what kind of content do you like to make?
So mostly I like playing things like a lot of so mostly variety. Things
Yes.
like indie games. I've been doing a lot of indie games, especially with Steam Next Fest coming up. I have a big event coming up for that. So
Ooh.
many indie games coming up. Also I like cozy chill games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really fun for me. Puzzle games. I'll do some things like some survival, so like things like Valheim, and then
Mm-hmm.
also a mix of like FPS things, so like Battlefield or Rivals, things like that. Not as often now, but it's all sort of a mix. And then I'll also do things like different crafting. I was part of the Artists and Makers Twitch Creator Club
Oh wow.
craft or Spring Raid Train. So I did a little bit of crafting on stream. So that's fun. And then also some music. So I also do like karaoke streams and things like that, and sometimes trying to learn different instruments. So it's a wide mix. A relatively say so stream for the most part. But main thing like trying to create like a welcoming and supportive space for people to hang out with me.
Of course.
Mhm.
So obviously, I'm gonna have plenty of follow-up questions to that. Uh, so, uh, what sort of instruments have you been learning?
So I when I was much younger, I learned piano. I'm not exceptionally good at it, but it's still fun. I don't necessarily have a setup for streaming that though. I'd love to have like a little MIDI keyboard that I could have in my office.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like doing the piano. I taught myself violin when I was younger also, but honestly, I haven't been able to play that much at all because I had stored it away um for a couple years. And when I did that, I took the tailpiece off of it.
Yeah.
Um, and I had two. I had one that had like a built-in electric pickup, and then I had my normal acoustic violin. And when I found them both many years later, like I to this day, I still can't find the tail pieces, and I
Mm-hmm.
swear I stored them together. So I haven't been able to touch that. But lately, I've been learning ukulele because a long time
Oh.
ago I started teaching myself guitar, and my fingers my fingers are just not cut out for guitar. It was very tough. Even with like practice gloves, but the I just didn't tough it out enough. But the ukulele has been fun. My hands still get sore a bit after a couple sessions, but I've done ukulele on stream a little bit, and then I got myself a kalimba, the little finger piano.
Yep.
So that's been fun to learn, and it's just really cute and soothing sound. So those have been the most ones. I visited my parents somewhat recently, and I was going through like my old kid stuff. I found some of my recorders from when I was really little. And I was thinking like if I could practice a recorder, I'd be like that would be sort of hilarious to bring on stream. Recorder time.
I mean,
Mhm.
the first practice that or the first instrument I ever played was recorder too.
Yeah.
It was like it was I was in third grade at the time, and that was the first one they give to you because they're these cheap
Yeah.
little plastic things, and you just hand them out to the kids, and who cares?
For real, for real.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Exactly. I had when because yeah, in elementary school I learned how to do recorder, and I guess the music teacher thought I was okay at it, and then so she recommended me trying to learn the alto recorder,
Yes.
which is bigger. And for my little elementary school hands, I was like, I can't cover all the holes.
Uh,
Well, I barely could, but it was really fun. I was trying to find mine, because that's actually the one I would like to learn again because I liked how the alto recorder sounded.
yes.
But it's seems to have walked away, unfortunately. But I found normal soprano recorder, so I could just practice normal stuff.
Re- Recorder is a very nice instrument. It has a very mellow sound to it. But the thing is that
Mm-mm.
everybody associates it with those goofy videos where it's like playing the Titanic music.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It'd be fun to have like, a nice recorder recording and be like, yeah, this is what a recorder could be like.
But But no, it's a do 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 do.
Oh gosh, I feel like I've run into that sound redeem a number of times on some people's pages.
Yeah. No, but if you're talking about an instrument that's too big for you, I started, I did the recorder first, and then and I was in a music family of a sort.
Ooh.
So
Uh-huh.
I mean, not like professionally, but my parents highly emphasized it.
Mm.
So I went to that, to trumpet, and then finally,
Oh, nice.
I ended up on tuba. So you talk, you want to talk about big instruments? There it is, right
Oh
there.
goodness, that reminds me. I was a couple of months ago. I was watching. Was it the Euphonium
Yep.
anime?
The,
And
oh,
oh, the
oh,
girl who
oh,
gets the tuba.
hold the phone. I need to write. There's a euphonium anime.
Oh yeah, I forgot the whole name, but it's Euphonium.
Okay,
Yes,
I need to watch this show
and
immediately.
not to be too much of a spoiler, but there's a tuba in the show, unsurprisingly, as along with many other instruments. But oh man, it is such a cute, cozy, and comedic show.
Oh
I
God.
love it.
So, what made you want to be a VTuber?
Well, like so about 4 years ago, I got back into streaming. I was just streaming with no cam really, but it was mostly because one of my friends had started streaming, and I was like, you know what? I'll give this a try again because I had tried many other years ago, but
Hmm.
back then it there wasn't a lot of pre-built widgets
Yep.
that I was able to find back then, and now and when I had came back to the streaming space 4 years ago, I was like, wow, there's so much stuff just already already built. I don't have to code anything myself. This is great.
Hmm.
Um, so I started streaming again, and then somewhere around that time, I was introduced to Hollow Live,
Hmm.
which I thought was cute.
Hmm.
Mostly Hollow EN, and then also some Hollow GP. And around that time also I was told about like a free 3D character modeling software. So
Hmm.
I learned about Vroid. It was still in beta at that time,
Yep.
but it was free and it was cool to make characters. I've dabbled in some 3D design stuff for like 3D printing and stuff like that
Oh
before.
wow.
So I was like, okay, this sounds fun. So I made me, and that's that's sort of how I started tiptoeing into VTuber stuff. Hmm.
That's pretty cool. There are a lot of people who manage to make their own models in Vroid, and I'm always, whenever I talk, I'm like, how do you do that? Because the thing is that I'm used to the much more formal design process, and
Mm.
it's so, and getting into the 3D space is just so uh it's I'm nervous about it. It makes me nervous.
Well, what's fun is like, if you don't like it, you just slide the bar another way, another direction or whatnot. What's neat about Vroid. I'm sure people find it in some tutorials and stuff, but
Yep.
it has like slider bars, which makes it like really easy to customize different aspects of your model.
Hmm.
But you're not limited to the slider bars. It has like the text field, so literally you can type in plus like either going positive or negative on the slider bar, very far off of what the slider bar would offer you normally. So that makes it fun. It makes it fun. You can customize things that way. But also now that Vroid's they've been in stable release for a couple of years now,
Yep.
and they've added a lot of preset even clothing that you can customize.
Hmm.
So it gives you a really nice like starting point to pick from.
I should check this out. I need to. I have to. For if for no other reason, for the show.
Yeah, when I was making my model, I streamed it. I was streaming like I'm making the.
So, what was the process for creating your character specifically?
So for mine, I pretty much wanted to make me personified
Mm-hmm.
into my VTuber model. So it was literally me picking out like some of my own selfies, trying to figure out, especially the color palette. That was,
Yes.
I think, the hardest thing about making my model. Well, okay, there's two things. Uh, one of them was the color palette because a lot you can find a lot of resources, especially if people use things on like Booth.
Hmm.
That's a great site for like especially finding assets for Void stuff. But I am Filipino American and I tan very quickly depending on the season.
Of course.
I went with my summer tone, uh, but that's not a though I didn't find a lot of reference colors that fit exactly what I was looking for. So that was a tough part, trying to do that. And then also, so when you're doing the coloring on your 3D model, you're still working on, for the most part, on a 2D space. VRoid lets you work on both. So you can brush either on the 3D model itself, or you have sort of the flattened out 2D mesh of whatever texture layer you're working on
Huh.
that you can edit. So doing my own makeup, doing my own shading. Honestly, my shading's not. I wouldn't consider my shading exceptional, but it's close enough. You can tell where there's shadows.
Yeah.
And it was my first time. So this is actually my model 2.0
Oh.
technically because when Vroid went from beta to the stable release, not all the meshes ported in properly.
Hmm.
So I looked at the model I had when it ported into the stable release of Vroid, and I was like, oh, I can't make any changes to my model unless I just redo my model.
Hmm.
Well, for some of the textures and whatnot. So I had to redo my hair, which that's the second challenging part.
Hmm.
So so there's a lot of preset hair now. Now there is.
Yeah.
But but there's making custom hair in 3D modeling. Like when I see people's models and I see their hair just so so specific and flowy, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that must have taken forever. Because like
Yeah.
literally, like the model I'm using now, I this isn't preset hair. This is every single strand lovingly drawn and twisted and uh thickness determined.
Wow.
um and figuring out where the highlight, like where the colors go on it. uh yes, custom hair. So you make the hair, you make the strand groupings,
Yep.
but then you also have to decide how it moves. If you do a custom one, there's no preset groups for movement.
Hmm.
And so that I have a clip on my channel where it's literally me like going through making this model's hair and being like, oh, because I got to the point where like, okay, I made all the strands and now I have to make them move. And it was just like, yep, this is just part of the process, part of the process, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, it's really fun playing around with it. And there's also things like, so in Vroid, when in the beta version,
Hmm.
that's actually where my eye colors come from. So since it was my first time making a model, I was looking at like, changing the irises and things like that.
Yeah.
But uh I didn't really know anything about that type of design. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep the default for now. And it because it's like really obvious when you're using the default because it's this blue and orange. It
Hmm.
sort of stands out. Um but then when the stable release came out, they actually don't have this iris color anymore. The default color is brown.
Hmm.
So so I decided like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and keep my beta version eyes. It's sort of a little throwback to me making my first model back when Vroid was still in beta. And then I had to change the outfit a little bit, tweak that a bit, but it's been fun because I've since made a lot of different versions of my character. So depending on the season, depending on the event, depending on the mood or something like that, I have different outfits. It's like playing dress up pretty much. But
Nice.
that's been fun. It's been fun making me. It's pretty much me aside from the color scheme semi aligning with my Pear theme of stuff.
Hmm.
Hence the sort of like brownish hair,
Hmm.
and the green top and whatnot. Hmm.
So, do you have any lore for your character?
Uh, to be honest, no.
I mean, you
It's
know.
like my lore is like it's me. Whatever my IRL lore is, it randomly comes up during stream stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally done this thing. Yep. Well.
So then, if you don't mind me asking, why the Pear theme?
It's one of those like you ever have one of those usernames from like
A
very
million
very
years
long
ago.
ago? Yeah.
Yep, you're
Yep.
preaching to the choir. I get it.
So I had this username for like quite a while, or very you take variations of it as the years go by. You just take the same base and tweak something about it. I dropped the what was it like long time ago? You would put the XX in front of things and at the end of
Yep.
things.
Oh yes.
So those little accents to the name have dropped since then. But yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, I am not exceptionally creative. I feel like with making new names of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a just ride this name for or variations of it for a really long time.
Names are hard, man. Names are
They
hard.
are. I'm always impressed by the people who can create like a ton of different character names. I'm just like, I I know real people names. I know a bunch of real people names. Hmm.
It reminds me of occasionally I'll see like a meme of J.R.R. Tolkien coming up with names for characters in Lord of the Rings, and it'll be like a big scary mountain. Let's call it Mount Doom.
Yeah, that's my style.
uh,
Hmm.
so, what is your favorite accomplishment of your channel so far?
I'd say it's sort of in a way it seems small, but
Mm-hmm.
little things. But when I hit
Yeah.
affiliate,
Yep.
back when I hit affiliate, years ago at this point, but
Yes.
the thing about hitting affiliate is that it unlocks a lot of like interactions that the community can have,
Mm-hmm.
and things like I really like emotes. Like a lot of my interactions in like messages and stuff tend to be like message react emotes
Yep.
type of thing, and like responding with emotes. I'm like, yes, that's sort of how I like using these little pictorials as a way to express how my feelings versus having to type everything out. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a vibe. This is me right now, and so having my own emotes, it sort of opens up like how I love to communicate, and also having like my own channel point redeems.
Yep.
And so letting the community interact with my stream using channel point stuff. So I have different things right now where they could add in different things to the overlay, whether it's giving like me some like pretty wings or like throwing hearts and stuff on stream using the channel points, and that's
Nice.
just been a really fun, cute, interactive way. There's also some of the more recent ones is like doing channel point redeems for some model changeouts. Now that I have very just different outfits that
Mm-hmm.
I could pick from, I have some of them put as channel point redeems. So if people wanna see those, because I'll typically stream with this outfit most of the year, and then during winter time I switch to sort of a cozy sweater. I just like it's winter. I want to be cozy. So you can sort of tell what season it is depending on what model I'm using. Mhm. But that
Nice.
that's been I love having like the interactions and letting people redeem things. I will say sometimes I feel like I scroll through my channel point redeems. I'm like, are there too many? Because because there's a lot. Because even things like so if I'm playing, well, I have it set where they can toggle it even if I'm not playing Rivals. But I have some
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Rivals specific ones where like I have like Hulk arms. You can redeem me having Hulk arms pop up. And then also I like playing them more also. So I have some Denizens of the Deep type redeems where I'll spawn a little monstro and his staff thingy.
Mm-hmm.
His trident. So those have been fun because it's cute because it also works with my Discord reactive. If I'm not using my model,
Mm-hmm.
the placement of it still works with the little chibi. It makes it funny.
Nice. Uh,
Mhm.
what's been the biggest change to your channel since you started VTubing?
Oh, I doubled up on my answers. It's honestly those channel point redeems.
You know
Because
what? I had a feeling you'd say that, but I have to ask anyway.
yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I went into that earlier. Yeah, those have been so fun. Especially like I keep like I mentioned, the list is long and I feel like I keep adding more. Uh,
Hmm.
keep adding more things to redeem. And I feel like because I think a lot of my stream has sort of been the same in terms of I really like my stream avatars and I've had them for like a really long time and I haven't really changed the preset of those. But the channel point redeems, I keep changing.
Hmm.
I keep adding more things for people to pick from. Uh and different like I have a few different like sound redeem things you could go through there. And
Yeah.
I'm still even now considering like what's going to be the next type of redeems that I'll have that my viewers can use as I eventually look into something like oh gosh, I'm so bad at saying it. Waldo
Uh,
Waldo the 3D space
oh, okay.
interaction thing. um I'm sure someone will help correct how I'm saying it, but it's like world but fancier. But it has like way more interactive um redeems that can like it'll also trigger like model movements. Like your model can do dances or it'll react to things like being thrown or stuff like that,
Okay.
based on what's happening and what redeem is picked.
Hmm.
That's future stuff. I have a number of streamer buddies who use it already and have offered to teach me. But I just gotta plan out when all that happens. Hmm.
Cool. So, I feel like you've touched on this a little bit earlier, but what do you hope to accomplish through your channel?
I think one of my end goal things is really it's mostly about the community I'm building.
Mm.
So I want to build a community where like people just love to come hang out and just chill regardless of what we're doing because we're always doing variety stuff. A
Mm.
lot lately it's been a lot of gaming, but it's not always. But then also in general like a supportive place. So it gives people like a place they can just find a little bit of peace and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Because like a lot of people's day to day is just so hectic. And so I'd love to have a space where like when people see my channel and they see my channel is live, they're just like, oh yeah, I just want to go hang out there. There's like not much stress built, nothing like really expected of you don't have to engage at a certain level or whatnot. I have a very lurker friendly community. I even added some redeems for just like silent hellos. Like you can just wave. I'm not gonna call you out. Just say hi. You can say hi without saying hi. Um, and I also because that's one of the things where like even with the stream avatars that helps me know like who was there also with like after stream, I'll sort of click through people's avatars and see their names. And it's awesome seeing people who have just been coming around and lurking. Maybe they're not active in chat, but like I can still see that they were there and really appreciate that.
Mm.
They took some time out of their day to swing by. Hmm.
Nice. Uh, who is a VTuber you would love to talk to?
I'm gonna say Ina from Hollow Live.
Okay.
I don't catch a lot of streams, like VTuber streams
Mm-hmm.
live. But I just really like how chill she is.
Mm.
But then she also, she'll have fun moments playing games too.
Mm-hmm.
um I I don't know necessarily anything I'd particularly like to ask them. I guess I just love to hear about their experience,
Mm.
getting her perspective on how it's been streaming, some of some of the challenges and how she's overcome it over the years,
Mm-hmm.
and things like what are her favorite memories and what does she look forward to, just sort of general things like that.
Mm. So, who do you prefer to watch? Big streamers or small streamers? And this doesn't have to be like VTuber specific, just in general.
Hmm. Uh, Honestly, I don't know that I look at stream size when I'm picking who I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if I'm looking at my follower list or something like that, I prefer to watch my other streamer buddies, see what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, and hang out with them. But if like they're not really on, I'll typically pick based on like a category, like either music or a specific game if I'm in the mood for watching certain gameplay. A lot of times I'm listening to music streams though.
Mhm.
Like I literally got Twitch Turbo because I like hopping between music streams to find one that has like the music vibe that I'm just sort of in the mood for. And so yeah, I normally choose based on either my friends are streaming or there's a certain vibe that I just want to chill with. Hmm.
Nice. So you're having your ideal stream. Who are
Hmm.
you inviting on?
So for me, my ideal stream is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be one where I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun with and not be stressed about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so what that looks like for me is having a collab with some of my closest streamer buddies.
Nice.
Uh, Probably because I haven't necessarily made that happen because scheduling is tough.
Yes.
Like trying to get a day and time when everyone is available is like, oh my goodness, it's wild. But if because all I do right now is if I do collabs, it tends to be a bit smaller
Mm-hmm.
because everyone's schedule's all over the place.
Mm.
But that would be if it was an ideal stream where everyone was going to be available when we planned it. I would, yeah, it would be a collab with some of my closest streamer buddies, and we would just be playing and having a good time.
So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to be an entertainer?
Um, a couple of things really. I think
Okay.
I would say you. I'd recommend, and these are strong recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, make sure you enjoy what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a big one, and also really be sure to schedule in time for self-care,
Mm.
because things like burnout and anything really, not just entertaining, but burnout is so real, and you got to know that it's okay to take breaks. You don't have to be on the grind set 24/7, because you if you burn out, then it can be tough to recover from. And you don't need to be like anyone else to succeed. You can be uniquely you, and there's gonna be an audience out there that enjoys your content.
Mm.
But it can be tough because you can't control the timing that it takes for them to find you. You can just know that you'll be there, and that way you're present when they find the stuff that they're looking for.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's burnout is such a peculiar thing to me because you can get burnout from doing too much, but you can also get burnout from doing too little.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can get burnout from having too strict a schedule because your entire schedule fills up and you feel like you have no time for just sitting back and relaxing. But on the other side, you can get burnout from having no schedule at all and everything is chaotic all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like a delicate balance, I find, to
It
avoid
really
getting burnout.
is.
Hmm.
And another thing that helps with that is having folks in your circle who understand what you're going through. Like they don't have to totally understand like, every aspect of it, but say if you're a streamer, having someone who understands a bit of the streamer space to help you, like if you wanted to talk about some of the stuff that was going on, they would be there to listen even if they didn't necessarily understand all of it. They could respect and sort of empathize a little bit with you about what you're going through. And having people in your circle that you can talk to really helps, regardless of whether what you're working on, whether you're doing entertainment or if you're working on something else.
Absolutely. So, shifting gears a little bit, what was your gateway
Hmm.
anime and what drew you to it?
You know, Honestly, if I'm thinking way, way back to the like one of the first animes I saw, I was
Mm-hmm.
absolutely tiny. It was probably Sailor Moon. Honestly, because I'm thinking about like what did I watch way back when? And honestly, it was mostly because the characters looked neat,
Yep,
magical girls. That's fun.
of course.
Sailor Mercury was my favorite for whatever reason. I don't really know why. I was like, yeah, she's cool. I maybe because she swam a lot, and I'm like, I like swimming. I like water. I'm not good at it, but I like it. um so that was like, it was a cute like, oh, these are neat. But
Yep.
so that was sort of like my gateway anime. But the one that I would say that actually got me like hooked into anime
Mm-hmm.
and dive way deeper into the rabbit hole That one would probably be Yu Yu Hakusho. I
Okay.
I
Yep.
really I really like that show. Um, I don't watch nearly as much action-y type shows nowadays. I'm much more on the comfy cozy side, but I still that's a throwback that that I
Mhm.
really like. And back then, I didn't have the time to access it like when it was on release.
Mhm.
So what would happen, one of my besties was really into it also. So she would literally TiVo the episodes and then give me a VHS so that I can so I can catch up on the episodes and then we can talk about it. Not dating myself too hard, but that's we had to do what we had to do. And and I really liked I liked both Karawa and Hiei from the show,
Yep.
but my friend was like, "We can't have." I mean, we were little, so she was like, "We can't have the same favorite character," and I was like, "Whatever, yeah, sure, I'll pick Hiei." Um,
Mhm.
so he's like when they talk about like who is your first like anime crush or whatever, I was like, I guess I could say Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho would be
Yeah.
favorite character.
He is a good choice. I like TA.
He was so cool, and he had his backstory. Oh, so feels, so feels.
Oh man. So, if you could go to an anime convention tomorrow, whom would you cosplay as?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard to pick, and I say that because I've done anime conventions in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
I've made a number of cosplays. I love dressing up my friends. It's so much
Yes.
one. It's easier to dress up someone else uh, than trying to dress up myself. Um,
Okay, well,
but
let me just set up the hypothetical a little bit more.
uh huh,
Okay,
uh huh.
there's no budget. Whatever you produce looks great, so you don't have to worry about like the intricacies of it too much. Just what would you most like to go as?
Oh my gosh. Um, you know, okay. I just thought of one.
Okay.
I'm like, who have I? Because I had some on the list of future cosplay stuff, but it was mostly they were on the list because I thought that they were achievable, right?
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
for me, but I think one that would be really cool
Mm-hmm.
is like it's like Angelmon from Digimon.
Who,
Was it? It was. Hold on, let me. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Uh, let's see. Who did she? So okay. It's the girl version. So it's who Gatomon evolved digivolved into because she looks so cute.
who got?
Let's
I
see.
got. Oh, hold on. I gotta see this now. How do
So
how do you spell
so
that?
the
Who got him
little
on?
version is Gatomon, but then what's the name of who she turns into? Angel Woman. That's why. I'm like, it's a female version of Angelmon. Angel Woman. Angel Woman. Yeah, sure.
Angel.
Because names are creative. It's Angel without the L, and then
Oh, yep.
Woman with all O's.
I recognize this one. I've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that would
pretty.
be so cute. That's wings like that. That's tough. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's hard. But
goes
yes,
that
if
goes
it was
hard
gonna
though.
be if it was gonna be pre-made for me and like, it all works out, yeah, that would be a throwback. I one of my scuff cosplays I did before was Patamon.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was Patamon and TK were like my favorite duo from Digimon back then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, but they're digivolving. Yeah, I get my words mixed up, but their next forms a little a little involved.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Which game did you have the most fun playing on stream?
So for me, I think when I think back of like semi recent games, I
Mm-hmm.
would say I had a really, really good time playing golf with your friends. Because
Yes.
I had my 4-year Twitch anniversary earlier this year, and I was playing with a couple of my streamer buddies, and we literally laughed so hard that the next day my abs were sore. And I was I was like, one, oh my gosh, it's a little wild. I had a workout on stream because I just couldn't stop laughing because we were just, it was crazy. Um, but that was also just so fun. That was so fun. It was so chill. Yeah.
Golf with friends is a great one because there's like a certain point where you just don't care about the game at all anymore.
And when we were playing it, we didn't even have any of like the funky stuff turned on. Not yet. Um, I found that setting. So the next time, yep, it's definitely going to be turned on. But we were just attempting to go through the golf course and we did have collision turned on because
Okay.
that's how it would be if we were all on the golf course together.
Did
And yes,
did you have clicky jumps though?
oh, we didn't because I didn't know where the button was to turn it on, but I wish I did. And now I know where that is. 'Cause I like that option. I like that option.
Nice. So, do you have any games that you're looking forward to?
So I think for upcoming games, one that I backed on Kickstarter and I
Mm-hmm.
really like their all their series pretty much. Even though I've only played one of them, but I
Okay.
like I like everything they've made so far. I'm really looking forward to My Time at Evershine.
Okay.
It's part of the My Time series, and I played My Time at Portia for quite a bit on my stream. There's still so much of that game left that I haven't finished yet, and I'll eventually circle back to. But considering how much fun I had with that first game, when I saw that they were making a third one, because
Mm-hmm.
I was nowhere close to finishing the first one, so I didn't want to get the second one yet. But this one looks so polished. The new one looks so polished. The artwork looks so good on it. The character design is so neat, and yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And I also, in terms of like my backlog of games I'm looking forward to playing,
Yep.
uh, I have Star Ocean Second Story, the remake,
Okay.
still on my backlog. And I would say of my gaming history or whatnot, Star Ocean Second Story on PlayStation was my favorite game. That's like my favorite game of all time. So I was really excited that they were doing a remake because I played it again a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
just the old version, and that was still really fun. But I heard really good things about the remake as well, the remaster of it. So I was like, oh, that's exciting. So it's still on my backlog. I haven't planned when I'm going to start that because that's also a very long game. Um,
Mm.
so that's gonna be one of the episodic ones. But that's those two games upcoming and one from my backlog. That's really looking forward to playing those.
So I'm gonna move on to the next section. I call these the for '80s fans in the audience. I call these the Voight-Kampf questions because they're a little bit more random. Uh, so which do you prefer, Elvis or the Beatles?
um, ah, Picking between the two. I'm gonna pick the Beatles because
Mm-hmm.
I really like Let It Be, but I have songs like when I do my karaoke streams and I have my song list and my set list and stuff. I have songs from both of them on there, and
Nice.
I like them both. But I'm gonna say the Beatles win for me.
uh, what's a song that you can't help but dance to when you hear it?
Oh gosh, I dance to a lot of songs. But if I was to pick like a recent one, when I go through like, because I use Google Music and it's like, here's the ones you've been playing a lot. Um, I would say the catchy song from the Lego Movie.
Okay.
And if you haven't heard it, I'm sorry when you hear this. I I like it.
I
And it's totally like a really goofy song.
I have seen the Lego Movie, but
Mhm.
I would need to hear the song again to remember what it was.
The title um is accurate. It is a catchy song, and they meme about it in the lyrics.
It kind of reminds me of like when you were a kid and there was like the song that you sang to annoy people, and the song was about annoying people. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like that, and they made it, and they're like, we know it, and they owned it, and I think it's a good song. I'm like, I like this song though. Oh my gosh. But that also that movie was just so fun.
It was.
Because the awesome song from there was also good. But
Hmm.
I haven't listened to that one in a while.
Uh, what's your favorite chill out movie?
Oh, that one's a little hard to pick. I like a lot of Ghibli movie. So
Hmm.
I guess out of those, if I was just, throw it on in the background and we just like chill with some snacks or whatever,
Yeah.
I'd say probably like Ponyo.
Okay.
That's a chill one. But
Hmm.
I've also like when Encanto came out, I swear I had that movie playing for quite a while, just like in the background. Hmm.
I still need to watch Ponyo because when
Oh,
Ghibli comes up, a lot of people like their favorite one is Ponyo, and
oh,
it's one of the
really?
one. Yeah.
It's so cozy. It's so cozy and cute.
So, what's a snack you might buy for a movie that is not popcorn?
So I'm thinking about some of the times I've gone to a movie theater and
Hmm.
gotten things in addition to or other than popcorn. I
Hmm.
would say one that comes to mind is the hot tamales candy.
Okay. Yep.
Because I I don't do spicy much, honestly, but I like the cinnamon coating that's on it. So if I eat just like one at a time, then it's just a nice like cinnamon coating on there. And then once that melts away, and the middle is like this semi like sort of sweet gummy middle. So it's
Hmm.
like a gummy bear. But yeah, oh, for some reason I really like those. Uh I just can't since it can be spicy if you start chewing on them, I just let it melt away.
I must ask though, what is the flavor of a hot tamale?
Oh,
Is
it's cinnamon. Yeah.
oh yeah, that it's in
Yeah.
because you yeah, that's right. Because for some reason I was thinking like the hot and spicy coating, and then you get past
Oh,
that, and then it's kind of like it's just kind of sugary, but
yeah,
yeah,
it
no,
just
it's definitely
they
cinnamon.
just have a little bit sugar in the gummy middle, yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, it's cinnamon. But if you have too much of it at once, that's where it gets spicy.
Yeah, it's like big
Mhm.
red gum.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Would you ever talk to a stranger unprompted in a public setting?
Yeah, yeah. I consider myself an introvert, and all the tests I've taken have said so.
Mm-hmm.
But I've totally complimented strangers in public. Like I see someone who has like a really nice outfit or whatever, a
Mm-hmm.
really nice like accessories, and if we're just like chilling, say we're at like I don't know, like a bus stop or a train station, or we're waiting in line for
Yep.
something, and if I notice, I'll just I'll compliment them. And
Yes.
yeah. And then sometimes we end up just talking because we're stuck in waiting for something. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I don't often do that,
Mm-hmm.
but if someone's got something really cute on, I'm like, I know you picked that for a reason. Let me tell you, that looks nice.
Oh man. I
Mhm.
need to try that sometime because the thing is that I'm one of those guys who's kind of like shy around women, and so
Mm-hmm.
I will if I see like a dude wearing an awesome hat, I'll say that to them, but I need to practice saying hi to women more. I
Yeah,
don't know.
just sometimes it's little things like if you notice, say like their earrings have a cool design or a unique design, or
Yeah.
maybe it's like super sparkly because sometimes they catch the light really well. It's just like oh wow, your earrings are really cool.
Yeah.
And just like it's sort of just recognizing accessory they have, or if they have like cool sunglasses or something. Same thing with like the cool hat or the shoes. Not a lot of people
Hmm.
mention the shoes often, but sometimes people like put a lot of effort into the shoes that they're wearing. Um, so things like that. Mhm.
And meanwhile, the guy is just like, "What's in the drawer?" Nah, that's fine. Oh boy. Uh, which do you prefer, chess or poker?
Oh man. So a little backstory. So
Okay.
when I was in elementary school, I barely made it into the chess. We had like a chess club. You had to
Really?
compete to get in. Um,
Really?
I finally got in after a while, but I didn't stay in for too long because
There
I didn't win a whole lot of matches. But I for a brief moment, I was part of the chess club, and to this day, I'm still not very good at it. Like, just I know there's like this whole like move sets and whatnot, and thinking ahead, and I just I'm not thinking ahead enough. I think I had maybe one or two moves, and that's about it. So, between the two, I'd probably pick poker because I'm gonna just hope RNG will carry me to
so,
victory or something.
so your elementary school, like first through fifth grade, had a chess club,
Mm,
and not only that,
yeah.
you had to compete to get
Yes,
into
it was
it.
competitive. I was like, oh my
Really?
gosh. Yeah, there's some people who are really into it.
That's
Actually,
crazy to me.
a
what?
lot of people around me are really into chess. Like
Yeah.
when in my high school, so much so that in my high school there were some like tables, like some of the hangout tables or whatever.
Yep.
They literally had like the chess, like it was a chess table hangout table thingy. Like the design on it was a chessboard, so that if you wanted to, you could just play chess. And I was like, I didn't play. I
Uh,
would watch people.
okay, so asking for context, are you like in a big college town or something? Are you adjacent to Harvard or something?
No, 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 no. I mean, I went to a nerd school, yes,
Oh yeah.
but let me tell you, that humbled me. But
Hey,
yeah,
if it makes any difference, I was at the music school, so we geeks of different kinds.
yeah, yes.
uh, so what's the best commercial you've ever seen?
You know, that was really tough because I feel like nowadays I just see like mobile ads.
Yeah.
Um, if oh gosh, I don't know that I've seen a lot of good commercials. I feel like if we're talking just advertisement stuff in general,
Yes.
um, on YouTube, there's was it? I think the channel is Accent Cinema,
Uh huh.
but he does like this sort of like movie analysis and talks about like history of movie type
Mm-hmm.
things or whatever, and we'll talk through about a whole bunch of various like movies from like around the world and things like that. Um, but in terms of like advertisement, like him weaving his style of weaving in the advertisement sponsorships into his videos are just so slick.
Yeah.
It's one of those you're watching it and it's just going along with the video, and then you realize like, oh yeah, this is hold on, this is the sponsor. Like I think in terms of advertising type things, that's been some of the best ones I've seen where I'm like, okay, I'll sit through this.
I
I won't
gotta
I won't skip ahead necessarily.
you gotta appreciate there are people they put a lot of work into those advertisements, and just to make it
Yeah.
seamless, or they make it into like its own little skit, and the skit is funny, so you know
Oh
they
yeah,
made
yeah.
yeah, they made it work. And I
Just like another channel, Jolly, and like the Korean Englishmen,
yep.
they put a lot of effort into their little skits, and yeah, you can tell that they that they try, and it's very adorable. It's like funny. I like what they do with it. Hmm.
Okay, where would your friends kidnap you to?
Part of me would say like California because that's where a lot of them are right now.
Hmm.
They'd be like, come visit us. But I think we all would like to go to Japan, so I'd say they'd kidnap me, and then we'd go to Japan and hang out together there. We it's one of the places that's like on my list of places to go in the future,
Mm.
but it would be really fun to go with friends. Hmm.
Oh yeah. Is there anything specific you would want to see in Japan, out of curiosity?
Oh my gosh. I don't know anything specific because I just think about all the scenic stuff that you see in like anime and stuff,
Mm.
and all the pretty pictures that you see
You have
get
like
posted.
those weird corridor looking pathways outside, and they show up in
Yeah, just
every single anime ever.
they do. Yeah, exploring, especially like nature type things.
Mm.
I like nature walking and like nature photography. So those type of stuff would be really fun. But also the food places.
Mm.
Yeah, I would love to see the food places.
Oh
Lots
yes.
and lots of food places. Mhm.
Okay. What's your favorite thing you've ever cooked yourself?
Ah, I I would go with making leche flan. Oh my gosh. Because I feel like when I made it, it was probably for an event or something. I was like, "Oh, but I can't eat this all myself." Um,
Wait, what?
it's
What
been
did I kind of missed it? What did you make?
Oh, I made leche flan.
Leche flan.
So, yeah. So I made
Oh,
flan.
oh, flan. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Yes, flan.
Mhm.
I call it flan because I'm like that. But
That's fine. It's
if
fine. It's fine.
if if you make it right though, it's better than cheesecake. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I especially making it where it's like so silky smooth in the middle.
Hmm.
You don't have any like the air bubbles and it's nice and like soup. I like mine super sweet.
Yeah, and
With lots of the syrup around it.
and if you make it right, you don't get any of those like weird little bumps. You know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
the ones from the egg, they make the. I guess you might call them curds. I don't know, but uh,
Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Just
it
super smooth.
very
So
very good. What on the other side? What's the worst thing you ever cooked yourself?
Oh, oh boy. So once upon a time,
Mm-hmm.
I uh I cooked an over easy egg.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know was that it was very expired because I
Oh.
didn't check the packaging.
Oh.
Um, and it was one of those like it looked pretty. It looked so pretty,
Oh.
and I had it on my rice, and it was like the golden
Oh.
yolk and whatnot. And then I bit into it, and I immediately spat it out because it was not. It was so like bad. I was like, "Uh-oh." I didn't even swallow it or anything. But that was enough for me to get sick.
that that
coming
hurts.
coming in contact with it was enough for me to be sick. And I'm sure I would think the food poisoning or whatever that I gave myself was gone after, like a couple of days, but I didn't physically recover from it for about a month.
Hmm.
Like I I was so sick. One of my friends had to like bring me to the hospital or whatever to get some IV because I was just so sick. And it literally took over a month for me to recover from this one little egg. And then it took me about a year to eat eggs again.
And then you
I
move.
didn't.
Then you move to flan.
Yeah. Well, luckily flan doesn't taste like eggs too much. But like I like having like scrambled
Mm-hmm.
or sunny side up eggs, like it took about a year,
Yep.
and then I it was my mom who had cooked it, and I was like, okay, I'll eat this. And then I've been fine since. But whoa, that was tough. Yeah, I'd never been so sick in my life. And I was blown away because I didn't actually eat it. I like spat it all out immediately. But nope, too bad. It was so over.
So, what's a place you've been to where you want to return someday?
Mhm. Oh my gosh, just so many fun places. I'm gonna pick one that I don't already have plans to return to yet.
Okay.
Eventually, but not in like the near future. I think that one would be Seattle. I
Okay.
went there couple years ago, and I had a really good time. It was neat because when people think of Seattle, they think of like all the gloomy weather and always like raining and whatnot.
Yep.
But when I went, it was only misty for one day,
Wow.
and it was actually the week I went there. It happened to be like really hot for that area, so it was like because in that area, a lot of the houses and stuff, they don't have AC apparently.
Hmm.
The Airbnb we had like a little portable AC, which was good because I
Yes.
needed it. Um, but it was hot in the terms of it was only 70, but for
Wow.
that area, 70 was like uh that was surprising. Everyone was very surprised. It wasn't raining and it was 70. And they did not have like the air conditioning to deal with that. Um but for me, coming from the East Coast
Hmm.
and the part of the East Coast where 70 feels great to me, 60 is preferred, but 70 is still great. I had a great time. And it was so fun, like going to the different food places. And I went to what is it, like the Pike's Place, the sort of well known food restaurant ish type place, and it was neat just going to like all the different stalls that they had there. That's where I found out I had Marionberry for the first time.
Hmm.
And Marionberry apparently was like a berry that was sort of bred by, it's one of the universities over in the Pacific Northwest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so good. It's like a mix between like a blueberry and blackberry sort of, where it's like has the sweet berry flavor without the tartness to it. Um, and I had Marionberry ice cream for the first time there,
Huh.
and it was so good. I went back and I'm like, I want more. And ever since then, I'm like, I really like it. There's only a few Marionberry products that I see make it to the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's like Tillamook, which
Yes.
I like Tillamook everything. But
Me too.
yes, oh my gosh. But they have Tillamook Marionberry pie flavored ice cream, which
Yep.
while not pure Marionberry flavor, it's still very good.
See, I've
But
I've
yeah.
I've definitely seen that flavor. I've never gotten it because I was like,
Ooh.
I don't know what Marionberry. God, it's a tongue twister. I don't know what Marionberry tastes like.
Yeah, well, it's sort of, if you like blueberry slash blackberry,
Mm.
yummy. It's around in that area. It was a while ago. I went to West Coast. It wasn't necessarily Seattle though,
Yeah.
but I went to the West Coast and I was there for probably like almost like a week. So I
Mm-hmm.
went grocery shopping and I picked out as many Marionberry things I could find. Just to try it, like, and all these different flavors and yogurts, and they had a bunch of Tillamook stuff. I'm like, I want to try all the Tillamook stuff I can try while I'm over here. Eventually one day I'm gonna go visit there because apparently you can do like a factory tour or something.
Mm.
Oh, that would be so cool because then you could taste everything. You can taste more things that they have. um but yeah, that's, Seattle would be my go-to.
Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to get because they have like they have a museum of flight in Seattle, don't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
haven't been to that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
The one on the East Coast is pretty cool too. The up in DC, there's
Oh, yep. They got the
names.
Smithsonian.
The yeah, lots of planes. I was walking around there. There's actually so much of it to walk through that I
Mm-hmm.
tapped out. I'm like, okay, I'm done walking. I actually didn't see all of it, but we walked around a lot of it.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I went there once. The Flight and Space Museum. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty.
It is neat. Yeah.
If you're a space geek, it scratches the itch very well. Uh,
And
so
it's just really neat to look at. Like everything's so big.
so you find $20 in the street. What do you buy with it?
Uh, it sort of a feels that 20 doesn't get me much. But
Mhm.
when I think about some of my recent grocery shopping, but I think with 20, I could get a boba and
Okay.
a bag of Reese's Thins. And
Oh.
those are my favorite candies. Hmm.
Hmm. Uh, which board game have you played that would be most likely to cause a brawl?
So I don't play many board games.
Okay.
I mostly because I like watching them. My
Mm-hmm.
friends love board games though. So I like watching them play board games. And recently, oh my gosh, recently they played the Adventure Time version of Munchkin.
Okay.
And Munchkin, regardless of version, is yeah, it can get tense because you either you can team up to help someone or you can team up to sabotage someone. And depending on what's going on and who's playing, both will be happening. Um and they swap roles and it's yeah. So those, like, it sort of stresses me out, so that's why I like watching it instead of playing. But I think a round of Munchkin, like, how they have how long it's gonna take to play it on the
Yeah.
estimated time. Like, I think on average they expect it to take like an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, my friends went for like four something hours. And it was a loud game. But it was fun. It was fun to watch. There was a lot of back and forth, but they kept it civil. But there was a lot of back and forth.
Oh.
Oh man.
Okay, if you could wake up with one talent tomorrow, what would it be?
Ooh, I think if I could understand and speak any language I wanted,
Yep.
that would be awesome. Mostly because then I could cover all the songs in all the languages. And then if I had a good understanding of the language, I'd be able to like write the lyrics in another language and sing it that way too. That would be really fun. That's something that I would love to do now. But I would
Mm,
need a lot of help from someone to make sure the translation, because sometimes the meaning of phrases doesn't quite translate word for word to
yes.
things. So I'd still want to make sure like the meaning of the phrases in the songs were being shared, but in the other language that we're translating it to. Yeah.
So,
So that would be an amazing talent.
so if you could learn one language right now, which one would it be?
Oh gosh. If I could 100% a language, it would
Yep.
be Tagalog because that's my mother's tongue.
Nice.
I so I can understand the gossip.
Mm.
I grew up around it, like going to parties or whatever, so I can understand the gossip from all the aunties. Um, 'Cause, I can tell when they're talking about people and or me. I just can't respond in Tagalog, but I understand them for the most part. And it I'll sometimes go to the local Asian stores and whatnot, and we have
Mm-hmm.
a local Filipino store where I'm at,
Oh
and
wow.
so I'll sometimes go there, and sometimes I'm shopping or whatever. The owner knows I don't know a whole lot Tagalog, but sometimes the other customers like they talk to me in Tagalog, and I'm like I sort of understand them. I'll respond in English, and eventually they get it. But I'm just like I don't know all the words. Oh yeah.
Oh. I'm curious because one of the things that I always hear about the Philippines is that you have Tagalog. I keep. Do you pronounce the G or not?
Well, you do, but it's different. It's like Tagalog.
Tagalog. Okay. Yeah, you have that language, and then you have like 1,000 other
Oh
languages.
yeah, yeah. Like every province has like its own dialect.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but they but part of it is like almost everyone there knows English.
Yes.
Yeah, so that helps. But
Yes.
they can also tell like when I traveled there to visit family like years ago, and I caught up with like my parents there also. One of the
Hmm.
things that they my family's always told me about like going to visit is like don't speak, like just don't say anything, because even like as soon as I say a word, they can tell from my accent that I'm American, and I'm like, okay, I just point and nod at
See,
things like if I go to the store.
see that's unfortunate because when I see like somebody who's come to America and they're making a genuine effort to speak English, even if they can't speak it well, I'm like, good for you. Thank
Oh, well,
you.
it's not that they dislike you. It's that it's the whole like tourist charge. Like they know you're a
Ah,
tourist. They know you're not from there. Which
gotcha.
yeah. So I just let my parents do the talking.
uh,
Mhm.
so, if you could go back in time to any time and place, where would you go?
Honestly, not too far back because I don't know much history. Um I like watching some like history explained type videos, but I don't know much about them. So I'm gonna go back to my own lifetime stuff. When I think of like if I could rewind my own clock to just sort of be in a space again,
Hmm.
I would say one of my recent trips to Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Uh, we went there and we we like going to the sort of more local places. One, they're a little bit less crowded and busy, but they're also just really cool and cozy and chill.
Mm,
And there was I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was one of like the beaches that we went to,
yeah.
and there was like a reasonable amount of like people there,
Hmm.
but it wasn't super crowded, and the water was great. And I literally just spent so many hours, and it wasn't like super hot that day.
Hmm.
And so I just spent so many hours just sort of like floating in the water at the beach. Like I was looking around, I saw like a bunch of people had like floaties. I was thinking to myself that that would have been clutch. I would literally, if I had a little donut floaty, I would just be floating here and I would just, yep, see you later. I just had to make sure I kept swimming back to like sort of the same area that my friends were lined up with. So I wouldn't go too far because the waves just sort of take you over time. But oh gosh, just chilling in the ocean at
Mm.
Hawaii and just like very chill vibes weather. That was so nice.
When I was a kid, I always wondered why people went to the beach because I was like,
Mhm.
they just lie on the sand, they don't do anything, and they're not playing any games at all. They're just lying. Why? And now I'm an adult and I've worked a day job, and I'm like, I get it. I
Yes,
I get
especially
it now.
I've learned about how awesome beach tents are. Oh
Mm.
my gosh, it's such a game changer.
Hmm.
Having a beach tent is so the trips to the beach now last way longer before getting like too tired of the sun. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So, do you collect anything?
Mhm. Nothing formally necessarily, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm sort of a collector of crafts.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of craft supplies,
Mm-hmm.
many of which I haven't attempted yet.
Okay.
As I keep collecting more crafts. It's like if you went through Michael's and you saw all the different
Mm.
crafts that they have, you're like, I would love to try this. I have many of them.
So it
Yeah.
so is Michael's your favorite craft store?
Uh, it's up there. I wouldn't necessarily call it my favorite because I feel like I'll find little local shops that
Yes.
have arts and craft supplies. I really like them. But when I'm trying to like find something very specific,
Mm-hmm.
it's a solid go-to. Or if I'm trying to get inspo about like, what supplies are even out there,
Mm.
especially when I was doing a lot of cosplay stuff.
Yep.
A lot of my cosplay that I was making for me and my friends was upcycling. So we would go
Mm.
thrifting a lot and then, or go to like the dollar store and pick out things and be like, okay, what can we make out of this? And then I'd
Mm.
still go to Michael's. Excuse me. I'd still go to Michael's to like look at what materials are available.
Yep.
That and Joanne Fabrics, RIP,
Yep.
because they just all closed.
I I
I
think
like going to both of those and just seeing like what stuff is there, and then trying to see if I could recreate it myself. Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that there are still Joanne's fabrics around me. Well, I'm just curious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on.
I thought they were all supposed to shutter in May.
Were they?
Um,
Uh, I'm being told right now that there are actually ones near me that are still open.
oh,
Ah.
I wonder if they bought out like because I've seen some places. There's certain stores like I think it was like Roses and Peebles, like the really older stores,
Yeah.
uh, that still exist, but they're not necessarily like widespread.
Hmm.
They're not the big chain anymore.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So, uh, j- just quickly, are there any sorry, are there any crafty things that you're looking to try like specifically in the near
Yeah,
future?
yeah. One of the things I got was this. What is it called? Woven basket kit type of,
Okay.
or not woven. Is it? Anyways, it's I got a kit that has like a ceramic base,
Okay.
and then you take the rope, um, and you wrap the rope in some pretty other rope, pretty
Okay. Yep.
fabric or rope, and you do that to make a basket, similar to different like macrame type rope art,
I've
fiber art type things. Yeah,
I,
that's one of them.
I've actually seen those. I've seen videos on YouTube of people they take the
Mm.
ropes that are like the old whatever ropes and then they make baskets out of them. Yeah.
So one of those. That will eventually. I'm eventually stream that one because I'm waiting to unbox it until I actually plan to stream it. That and I got myself. I backed. I went on Kickstarter and I backed
Hmm.
this. rug tufting kit
Mm-hmm.
because sometime like end of last year, me and one of my buddies went rug tufting and we made our own rugs.
Mm.
And that was really fun and cute. And so I was like, "Ooh, I totally vibe with doing this myself." So I
Nice.
have a rug tufting kit. I don't know how I would stream that, but it would probably just me taking videos and turning it into like reels or shorts or something because
Mm.
dealing with audio of that style and like camera framing complicated. But uh but that would be fun.
Yeah.
So rug tufting, those two are probably up towards the top. I did I recovered a bunch of my cross stitching stuff from my parents' house.
Nice.
So I like that type of things. But those are the main top ones, but I have a lot. I do. I have a lot of different crafts.
uh, and my final question of the evening, or well, it's the daytime. What am I saying? Evening. My final question of the interview: what smell reminds you of home?
I would say the smell of rice cooking.
Hmm.
And one, it makes me so hungry. But two, it's like that's such a nostalgic smell.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming out today. I do
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for having me. It's been fun.
Absolutely. And if you're in the audience right now, I will be sending links to all of Pear Doll's various socials through the chat, and they will be in the description. Except you'll have to add periods where I put in spaces because YouTube is not link
Mm.
friendly. But
Mm-hmm.
the chat links work for some reason, so click on those. And once again, thank you for coming out. I was your host, Jack Jinseki, and joining me today was Pear Doll. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.